Michael Green here.
Tim Ferdinand here.
Roxanne Tufts Keegan here.
Perfect.
Everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes
Yep.
from the, I forget the date,
November 4th.
November 4th meeting.
Oh, do we have not minutes from November 18th for your budget committee?
No, we left, that was their meeting,
Budget committee meeting, right?
so we didn't take minutes.
Okay.
Has everyone had
Minutes need to be, we have to have minutes for that meeting.
the selectmen or the budget committee?
I don't know who, I'm just saying that there should be minutes.
Well, it
Okay.
was the budget committee's meeting, so it would be their minutes that we'd be looking at.
Kimberly Robbins does our minutes.
I know, and I think I'm the one that told them that you didn't have to do the minutes, so we can talk about that, Robin. Sorry, that's me.
You're fired.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, getting back to the meeting minutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's high level, so we can talk about it. I gotta talk to you tomorrow anyway, so.
All right, getting back to the November 4th meeting minutes. Everybody had an opportunity to review them.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
All those in favor? Or no, actually, sorry, a
I'll second.
second.
No, I,
Somebody, who seconded, Tim?
nope.
Mike.
Mike, sorry. Now he's next.
All those in favor?
Aye. Okay. I have non-public meeting minutes from November 13th, 2024. And just, we are not gonna seal these, so I can have someone make a motion, we accept them and second them.
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
I'll second it.
So it's Scott and Mike, and it's November 13th. All those in favor?
Aye.
So, there you go. And now we have non-pub from tonight, 11/25/2024. These, I'm going to make a motion to seal these for 5 years. Someone wants to second that?
I'll second.
Tracy. And that's to affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of the board. Okay. Roxanne, yes?
Scott Ferguson, yes.
Michael Green, yes.
Tim Ferdinand, yes.
Tracy, yes.
Okay. That's all I have for minutes.
Okay.
It's enough.
And I think at this point, we are permanent application for property tax credits and exemptions.
Can I see those non-public minutes for a minute again? Let's see. Ah, this one. Oh, gosh, I knew what I was doing. Thank you. This one's gonna be
Tax collector's warrant?
Yeah. Actually, question about this, Robin. So we're gonna sign this today. What are you gonna, you're going to what do you do with this?
I'm gonna give it to Teresa. We decided, or she decided on a due date of January 9th.
Okay, so when the bill's gonna be going
So
out?
she'll, well, 30 days before that, so.
Okay,
I know we talked about this, and she picked the 9th based on her calendar, so. As soon as I get it to her.
You said January 9th?
Yes.
that's, yeah.
So 30 days before January 9th, so December 9th?
I'm pretty
Well, I
sure
would hope they go out
before
before January 9th, until December 9th.
That's Teresa's.
I'm not hearing, but,
Yeah, it's Teresa's deal, so I don't know whether.
yeah, and you don't want to speak with her strictly,
Can
no.
I ask why we're in the new year?
I don't know, you'd have to ask her.
I have to do it again.
Especially it's so serious.
I mean, I don't know, I would agree that, I think we should try and get them out sooner versus later.
I'm assuming CAI Technologies is you guys, right?
Yeah.
As soon as we get these signed, then we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Oh, so while everybody's doing that, so I do have items to add to the agenda. I just, two is interviews for the fire chief and the treasurer's job. Do I need to sign this?
Yep.
So we can do that last, I guess.
Is that the two?
Those are just, yeah, that's it.
And then I just have one to add, which would be the Casella waste contract.
Oh, yes, right. Just one here. How is this alphabetized?
Does it look reasonable? It's only the second time I've done it by myself.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh. Pass it on. So then, garbage contract. I'm gonna just put garbage contract on my list here.
That's
Can
fine.
we take it now? You want to put it in again? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in on that.
I'm not sure what's on it.
Wait, no,
No, it's fine. No, speaking of which, did you see the article in the paper about him?
All right, turn it over. Do you want the lights dim now, or? I think the projector's probably right enough. Your call, if you want to. It'll work. It takes a second to warm up. It'll break out.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
That's a problem right there. No, you can't run the business and only serve New Hampshire clients.
Yeah, but you're from Massachusetts, that's out of it.
No.
No, I'm not.
Bedford.
Worse.
Bedford.
New Hampshire.
Bedford, New Hampshire.
That's where he's from.
Middleton, New Hampshire. Wasn't born there.
Okay. Good?
All yours.
Okay. So my name is Tim Fountain. I'm the Vice President of CAI Technologies. It stands for Cartographic Associates Incorporated. We're a GIS consulting firm that serves local and regional governments, cities, townships, counties. And we currently provide the annual map maintenance services, so your tax maps, your assessor's maps. That's a service that we currently provide to the town. That service is performed maintaining GIS data. It's Geographic Information System data. It's mapping data that has intelligence with where the location of that data is and a database behind it. So I was invited here this evening to talk about our Axis GIS platform. That's like the Earth spinning on an axis. That's what that's intended to represent. This is a web-based or browser-based web GIS product.
Tim, can I just, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. We talked over an HMA review. So right now, what you do currently for the map maintenance is not anything computer-based, it's just, is that correct?
No, well, the data that we maintain to keep your tax map up to date is computerized.
Right.
It's not ink on mylar. Our staff uses GIS tools to split a property or merge a property, that data is used to produce your tax maps.
Okay.
All right? That data can also be linked to your assessment database, ownership, who owns what it is, where it is, and that's this product.
So this would be the next step?
Yes, this would be, if a customer came to me and said, look, we enjoy working with you maintaining the tax maps, what else can we do with this data? This would be 9 out of 10 times the first step to that. Okay?
Yeah.
So the annual map maintenance service that we provide is to keep the tax maps up to date. Each year, when we complete that service, we deliver the data back to you, we deliver your tax maps back to you, and this would be a way to use that data, okay? I want to stress, though, that this service is completely independent. So regardless if you're interested in adding on, that's the way to say it, the Access GIS service, you would still maintain the tax maps. It doesn't impact the price, it doesn't impact the workflow, it's just something, this is just an add-on service, okay? So what I have planned, and I can adjust however the board would like me to, is to just show 2 or 3 slides. They're primarily driven to keep me on track, to be honest with you. Just to introduce the platform to you, and then I can go into a live demo and show some of the tools and talk about how other communities are using this. And of course, the pricing. Okay? Yeah. Any questions, or would you like me to handle it any other way? You good? Okay. Okay. So Access GIS is what software as a service. It's called SaaS. It's a cloud-based mapping platform that functions on an internet browser. So there's really 3 things that you have to have in order to use this product. You have to have a computer or a mobile device. You have to have power, battery or plugged in, and you have to have access to the internet. Okay? It functions in what we call the cloud. We use the Amazon Web Services cloud, and the reason why I stress that is it's a very stable computing platform that doesn't rely on web servers in a building in Middleton, New Hampshire. Okay, that's where our offices are. Okay? By the way, we serve a little over 700 local and regional governments, employ about 40 full-time people. And all we work for are local and regional governments. GIS is used in pretty much every industry. We focus just on local and regional governments. So this, in my opinion, is probably the most important slide, just because it helps me talk about, or it's intended to illustrate, how this platform is designed. So this is Access GIS. I like to picture this slide as like a wheel, and in the center is the hub, and these arrows that go back and forth, I'll explain those. Those are the spokes. And then all around the outside is the tire. And the outside is intended to identify all the different departments that we usually work with in a local government. And 9 times out of 10, it starts in the assessor's office because we have relationships and we're already typically working with the parcel data. But every system that the community uses, whether it's a permit management system, a calls for service system, asset management for your public works infrastructure, we can communicate with those databases. But I want to stress, for the purposes of this first introductory meeting, I'm just going to focus on the Land Records Office or the Tax Assessor's Office, because we already have a workflow to maintain your tax maps and your parcels. And you already have workflows in place to maintain your ownership database. So when a property sells and a deed is recorded, someone goes into your avatar system, okay, that's Robin, and changes that from Tim to Robin. And the values are maintained, how many beds, how many bathrooms, detached garage, all those important attributes about a property are already being maintained right here. The mapping is being maintained already, and these arrows here are intended to illustrate what we call a data processor. Now, a data processor is just a very light computer program that takes the information from the avatar database, so the land, the ownership database, and pushes it into the map. So that way, when you go to find a property or doing a butters list or say, hey, who owns that property? There's a mechanism in place to keep that up to date. Very, very important, okay? Most of our communities this size, and I don't want to say this is what you should do, I just want to share what most communities do. They'll maintain that ownership data throughout the month, and then the first Friday of the month or the first Monday of the month, run that tool and it syncs the data out. Okay? And then the tax maps themselves are already maintained current to April 1 of each year, because that's the tax year, the assessment year. So that data will be locked all year long until after April 1, and then that new mapping data, or updated mapping data, gets pushed in. Okay? So I don't want to go into too much detail about how we work with all these other systems, but it's really a very similar process of setting up a data processor between that. This slide is intended to illustrate how most of our customers implement the platform. The upper right is what we're here talking about tonight, a system to get benefit, if you look at it this way, is that you're going to be able to share this information out with the taxpayers, with department heads, anyone in the world, anyone with access to the internet. The upper left, that is just shows a few of the icons or brands of systems that we typically work with. Some of them are asset management, some of them are CAMA, some of them are permit management, imagery, all different types of systems we typically integrate with. Now, I'm not going to talk a whole lot this evening about the two bottom spokes, but I just want to introduce you to this concept. So there's a public-facing side of this application. That's where you just have a URL or a link on a web address on your town website. The user clicks that address, the application opens up. It's out there, open, no editing capability, but there's view-only capability for anyone that wants to see that. Notice on the bottom two spokes we have those locks. That's intended to illustrate that there is a login capability in the platform for some of our more advanced users that may want to secure data for internal use only, calls for service for fire, safe routes for bus routes, all kinds of different things that some of our customers, water systems, sewer systems, they want to keep internal. We have the ability to expose certain tools and control certain data so that it can only be accessed by a certain type of user or a certain particular user. We call that their identity. I won't talk a whole lot about that in detail, but I do want to introduce that besides the public-facing platform, there's lots of add-on capabilities. Okay? This is my last slide. This always reminds me to just touch on some of the technologies we use. I already talked about Amazon Web Services. Some of these were a Windows-based environment. And the bottom three illustrations there, fully supported in an internet browser environment, your tablet, or your mobile phone. And I want to stress you have to have access to the internet. Okay. Any questions about my introduction of the platform? Okay. Has anyone seen our, has seen Access GIS? It's used in most surrounding
Yes, I think
communities.
Durham has it, Milton has it.
Yeah. Durham, Milton, Brookfield, I was just looking around.
Wakefield? Does Wakefield have it?
Wakefield has it, yeah, yep. So this is just a list of all the communities. I can go to any of these, this is all live, this is kind of what makes my job fun, this is at times. So this isn't canned anymore. I was gonna go to Milton, because it isn't a butter, and they also use Avatar, that ownership database that you use. I figured I'd start there. Okay, so here's the interface. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing this for the first time, but if I went to Milton's website, I think on their planning page, their assessing page, and their public works page, they have a link to the site. So now I'm live and on the internet. So before I go through a demo, a quick demo, I just want to introduce the interface. Up here in this upper left, this is where users typically start where they're searching for a property. So our public users can search by owner name, property address, and tax map and lot ID, or parcel ID, okay? Staying on the left here, this is layer control. These are all the different layers of geographic information that are available in the Milton site. Okay, so these are just like light switches. So if I turn on a light switch, it'll draw a layer. And in this case, I want to draw the zone layer. See that I have a legend for those as well. So I can see the different colors on the map represent the different zones. I turn these off and fold them up. Okay. I'm just using the wheel on my mouse to zoom in and out. We can talk more about layer control in a minute because there's a couple other things I want to show off. This upper right, this is where I call it our toolbox, or the primary tools that people use. These first 6 or 7 tools are the most commonly used tools. Zoom in. As I zoom in, more information begins to show on the map. Or zoom out. Again, I'm using the wheel on my mouse. Zoom back out. Identify. If I go to a particular property and I want to know, is my identify tool active, it's going to now query the database and give me back the information that's linked to that property. Okay, so this property right here, if I hold my mouse over it, I can see who owns it, as well as all the detailed information that's coming from the camera or the avatar system.
Is
And
that, I was just gonna say, that's equivalent to a tax card?
Well, this is the information that's on the tax card, yes.
And it's updated monthly.
It's updated, if you want to push the button every day, it's updated every day. No, I'm being serious. Avatar is one of the few cameras that you can't automate it. Patriot and Vision, some of the other ones, we can have it automatically run every night. They can push the data out from it. So think of it like a push and a pull. They push the data out and I pull it up to the internet. I'm not going to click on this tool because I don't know where it's going to bring me. I don't know where I'm getting my internet. But this tool is used to zoom to my location. This is used while I'm in the field. So instead of going out and searching for a property by looking for Jones or Smith, I just push that button. It uses the GPS on my tablet or my mobile device and zooms me to where I'm standing on the internet. Talk more about that property details. So this brings me back home. This remembers my previous zooms and where I was, and this allows me to share a link to my map. Now this layer, those 3, I call it a hamburger, those 3 layers, this gives me, this is the toolbox I call it. So these are all the ones ones that we get from New Hampshire Granite. So if I want to turn on the imagery. And we sync with these services, it's called. We fetch them. So as soon as these services are updated, or as soon as the imagery is updated, we pull in that service. Should zoom in a little further to the left for that to show. So you can see the imagery. And here's the other base maps, Google, the OpenStreetMap. I'll go into a few of these tools, spend a little bit more time than others, but a lot of them are self-explanatory. These tools are designed for the non-GIS user. They're not designed for the GIS professional. They're designed for someone that is a taxpayer, is a planner, is a public works, is a firefighter, also just introducing the interface real quick. Notice the location of my cursor. I have my X and Y coordinates. I also can click on that. I can change the coordinate system. This is very helpful for if I'm looking at a survey plan or a document that has coordinates on it. We support the common coordinate systems. The one in New Hampshire is New Hampshire State Plane. That's the default one. But all these other coordinate systems are supported. And that's important when you get into using more with GIS. Suppose I want to go out and map trails, or I want to go out and map the location of my outfalls or my culverts. Okay. And I always just do a quick browser restart there. And just whenever that's the worst thing happening, just restart your browser. So any questions?
I did, on the permitting program, we use Avatar for that too, so could that communicate with this?
Yep, so the answer is yes. We need to work with Avatar, and they probably have these canned reports. They already have a canned report called GIS Data Export. It's in your utilities menu. It's going to push out 20 or 30 attributes about a property, the ones that I listed. You would have to have them install the permit export. That's going to give me the information that I can link to the properties.
So you would look at a property and you would see what it has for history.
Yeah, you would see a different table there. So you'd see the ownership information, or we call it assessment information, and then permit information. So I'll do a quick search and demo here. Middleton. So on the third keystroke is when the application searches the database. So as soon as I hit, I'm looking for Wilson here, because there's Smiths and Wilsons and Jones all over. So as soon as I hit WIL, it starts, it's like a Google search, it starts coming back to me with what it thinks I'm looking for. So the more I type in, these are the top 6 Wilsons that it found. I can choose one simply by clicking on it and then zooming right to that property. Or if I were to clear that and go back, type in Wilson, and if I just want all the hits of Wilson, so if there's a Wilson Street or Wilson Road or an owner named Wilson, it's going to find that in this list. This is my search results list. So notice I have a bunch of tools up top here. So I can add, remove by clicking on the map and adding and remove. You see how it's reactive too? It's called React technology, where you can see as I zoom in here, and if I hold my mouse over, it's going to show me which property I'm looking at. I can sort these by address, I can sort them by owner name, I can sort them by property ID, ascending or descending, or I can write a report. So let's say I want to write a PDF report of all the Wilsons. Really fast, quick tools designed to answer questions. And if I want to go to a particular property, click on it and there it is. So this is the GIS data export in Avatar. So I have owner name. Now if there are certain fields that you want to comment out or certain fields that you don't want to include, we can remove those as part of the data processor. But most of our Avatar customers use the, how many beds, how many baths, what year built, tax values, neighborhood codes, whatever information is in the database about that particular property. So when you said property card, I wanted to, people use property cards several different ways. I just want to show you 3 ways. So there's the CAI property card. This is nothing more than just a PDF report of the information that's on that listing there. If Molly Wilson the ownership changed tomorrow, this CAI property card is dynamic. If Wilson's changed to Jones, this card will change, okay? Some people like that, some don't. So this is also the property record card. This is the one that you get when you print it out of avatars. Some people like that. And then the third option, well, I only want to show you unless you use it. Do you use Avatar's online database service? Okay, they're not posting a
No,
database in the
we don't.
internet for it? Okay,
We don't
then
get
forget it.
that.
But we can
We
look
got
at
it when they just did our updates.
Yeah, we
but
did it that
we
one
don't
year.
get it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I
Oh,
typically hear that. They'll
Yeah.
feed it to
It
you.
was like
for-
3 months, it was open to all residents.
Yeah.
They got it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was just going to say we could link to that as well. So if there are any other documents that are linked to a property, suppose a scanned permit, a certificate of occupancy, whatever, we do provide tools that you can click on the parcel and upload those documents, but here is where all the documents are stored, okay? And the base platform includes the CAI property record card. This is the avatar photo. That's the photo. So a common function is a butters list. How do you do a butters list now? When an application requires you to notify?
Pull up the tax map.
You go to town, right?
Yeah.
Is it direct?
It's very
or
manual.
Is it direct or is it 200 feet, 100 feet?
I think it's 200 feet, I think, right?
Okay, well, let's just
It's
say
direct,
it's
it's
200 feet.
contiguous
Okay.
unless it's across the street, then it's 200 feet.
So this tool here is the abutters tool. So the last query I ran is 200 feet. So it's sticky, it remembers that. So it has my subject property, that Wilson property that I had. Here are the abutters. And now I have reporting capabilities. So if I want to export that to Excel, or let's just run the PDF report, you can see.
Well, so the resident is responsible for doing the butters list, so they can do that also from here, right? When they bring it in, and I will look at it.
Yeah, so here's, the answer your question, yes, here's what typically happens. The landowner does this, he gives it to you before you accept it or certify it, you walk around, go to your desk and do it.
You compare it.
Yeah, you compare it.
Again.
The
Should've done that
important
last time.
piece there, though, is that you know when the data processor ran.
Mm.
So let's say the data processor didn't run for 29 days, then you would run your data processor and it would run that report. Does that make sense? You can push that up for you.
Yeah, actually, we missed 3 last time in planning board because the resident did it. And they're supposed to do it, be responsible for it, but I've since learned that should be. It can only cause problems to us.
Right, I blame you.
So another common report after the abutters report, there are mailing labels. So this is the Avery 5160 mailing template. So this window that always comes up before you run mailing labels prompts you to tell the application where to start printing them. So let's say the last report I ran, I used this first row and these top 2. So I just told the application to start printing the mailing labels there. So that helps avoid you throwing out half-used labels. Okay, and mailing labels to Excel. Those are kind of good. So a couple other things that I like to point out with a butters list are it does work on negative buffers. I don't know if there's anyone planning in the room, but -20. So there's an approximate setback on that property, a 20-foot setback, which definitely demos a lot better with a imagery. So you can see what a setback looks. You can tell, hey, is the building within 20 feet or 50 feet or 50 feet? Just a simple little tool that was built in there. A go back to streets. And then also I want to point out, I'm just going to clear that. And let's say I wanted to do an abutters list on this property. Let's go back to 200 feet so we'll get some results here. And I can choose multiple subjects. So let's say I want 200 foot abutter from this property and this property here. So I can choose multiple subject properties at once, which if you have someone owning multiple properties, then we need to notify people and saves a lot of time. Okay. One other thing I wanted to show you besides searching, through typing in owner name, property ID, or address, is this lasso. It's a spatial selection. Let's say I want information about all these properties right here. So I just click and hold down. Now I have all these reporting capabilities to me, available to me, and all the information about these properties. So some of these tools I'll go through. I just want to be sensitive to your time. I know you've got a full meeting ahead of you. I demonstrated the different base maps. These are what's available from our business partner, ESRI. These are pictures of everything under this data. Okay? So if I want to change it to a dark, or the newspaper map. Some of these are kind of silly, but
Where's the topography plan? Oh, right there.
so that's the USGS quadrangle sheet there.
And then you have another?
Yeah, this other topo that
Oh,
just shows
more
graphic
quadrangle,
relief.
yeah.
Yeah. So depending on this map you want to generate, you have control over what is going to support the display the best. Because you know, I turned on just a couple of these layers real quick, but let's say I turned on the FEMA map, the floodplain map, and the conservation land map. I may want to look at this map with different backgrounds.
How do the fire department usually?
How do they use it? Well, usually they like to know what the construction of the building is, what the fuel type is, what the exposures are, measured from the closest hydrant.
Fire pond?
Yeah, cisterns, buffers from hydrants, measure tools to pull hose, all kinds of
But
things.
you'd have to enter that fire pond information in there, you wouldn't necessarily have it, would you?
If that, and so now that's a great time to look at the opportunity to do this. Everything I've been showing you is application. You're right, data is everything on this left side. If you don't have the data, it may be freely available, it may be developed for another project, it may be, and data is usually the most expensive part, to be honest. And there must be a commitment to maintain it. Okay, base maps, you can see all the different, these are all freely available, all these different, you can look at, let's say I want to look at this intersection here, what did it look like in 2015? What did it look like in 2018? What did it look like, and that's how most people use all these different libraries of imagery. And this is the Google satellite, which I love. I have a love-hate relationship with this. It's free, it's fast, but it's usually leaf on. So usually the leaves are covering the important stuff I want to see. But, okay. So let me go back to this here. So measure tools, I said, 3 ways to measure. I want to measure an area. Say I want to measure from here to here to here to there, and double click just to make it interesting. So that's, I don't know how to tell the maps on this page. So there's 0.93 acres in that polygon there, all my other different areas of measurement here, and I can determine whether or not I want to turn on the segment labels or not. I can clear that.
What do those red numbers signify?
So this is the length of the line, 130.1 feet, and this is the bearing, 311.9 degrees. Okay. And then, just like measure area, we have measure length. So let's say, I think we'll look something a little bit more exciting. Let's say we wanted to measure the length of this intersection road to there and double click to there to this is the main. So we will total distance of 1,051 feet. Or 0.17 nautical miles. Just completely useless. Okay. And then this last one is location. Let's say I want to get a rough location of the coordinates of this building here. Just drop a point that gives me either in decimal degrees or degrees in seconds, which a lot of this applies if you're looking at plans and geographic information. Okay, drawing tools. These people love them, but they take a little bit of time to work with. But if I want to draw polygons, I can determine what color, what fill, what the size of the line is. I'm going to come in and build my shed here. And let's say I want to drop some points. I'm going to plant some trees here. You get the idea, hopefully. These are just dumb geographic or cosmetic objects, and they're intended to be used either in the share map. So if I were to use the share link, copy that. And at tonight's meeting, we're going to talk about Tim's property and his shed and his trees, and I can email that to everyone. So now all you do is just put that link in, opens up the application, zooms to that location, and brings in my cosmetic objects. If you're ready. What's that?
There they are.
Oh, I went back to my other.
Oh.
That was the magician in here. Drawing circles, drawing rectangles, we don't do that all, but it is important to stress that when I go to print a map, those survive the print process. Okay?
And again, that's something residents could do also.
Yeah, everything I'm doing now is freely available or open to the public. ArcGIS Online, that's integrating with another GIS platform from ESRI. We won't go into that. This is my staff login capability. I just introduced that on one of the slides. I will show printing. So printing, typically people choose this layout map. Picture this, and just slide this in just so you can see my screen a little better. Picture this as a workflow starting from the top and moving down. So I define my scale. Let's say I want to print out a map at 1 inch, 125 feet. And I want my map to say, demo is almost over. All right, I don't want to put a legend on because I don't have any of those features on, but if I check this, the legend will come up. Portrait or landscape, or 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 17. So now the map's being prepared. These messages are intended to come up so that the user doesn't, knows the application's doing something. So demo's almost over, 1 to 125. And it prints my map. Okay, so some of the boring stuff. Fully documented help. Nobody uses it, to be very honest with you, because we support not just the town's employees, but anyone in the world. And they'll always say, hey, how do I run the butters list? How do I print a map? How do I turn a layer on? So that they don't use it, but it's all here. We have a library of videos, and we also have fully supported documentation. And how do I run butters? Well, just click the letters and zoom in there. Okay, so feedback. We have a form. How can we help you? Who are you? How are you using the product? What can we do to help you? We'll support unlimited email and off-site, telephone, email, fax, screen share support. Contact information. This is Robin's home phone number. Here, your email address. Looks like we have 2 contacts there. Disclaimer, planning and information purposes only, and a little statement about us. Contact us, that's our website, and here is an email address for feedback. One thing I didn't point out, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping around, is back on Abutters. I just do want to show this. I don't know how you folks manage your planning process. But if I do turn on, remember I showed you abutters with parcels? You know, I pick a property and I get everyone within 200 feet. But that also works for, let's say I want everyone, just bear with me here, because hopefully, yeah, good. So when I identify in this application, 99% of the time someone wants property information back. But if I don't, in this case, I chose this flood zone polygon here. So if I run an abutters tool, now I have everyone within 200 feet of that flood zone. So the abutters not only work on parcels or properties, it works on any GIS feature. So let's say I needed to notify everyone within 200 feet of a cistern or 200 feet. We do this a lot in the lakes region when they put out an herbicide to manage milfoil. They have to notify everyone within a shoreline. So just things like that that people use GIS for that help them do their jobs and to help them share information easier. I'm sure there's other things that, oh yeah, let me show you this or let me show you that, like here now. I'm thinking of one and then I'll wrap it up. Over in layer control, I talked a little bit about the light switches with the on and off checkboxes, the plus and minus signs. But this property map, this is really where all the tax map data is stored. So as I zoom in and I start to get my acreages and my boundaries or whatever data is on your tax map, I can turn those layers on and off independently. But here I want to point out this data is current to April 1, 2024, and they ran their updater. I can't see that. Is it the 5th or the 15th? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I see better up there. 11.5. So that is what's used, so you know how current the avatar data is that's been pushed over. So if they ran it, tomorrow morning and then you go on, you'll see it updated to 11.26. Okay. I don't know if did I show a splash screen? Let me just look real quick. I think New Durham has one. Because I was looking at that site. But a splash screen is, a splash screen is a little message that comes up. It says, oh, there's one right there. So about half of the sites have them. And some folks want you to click I agree or enter. Just says the property information is available for your use. The town's not responsible for any misuse or misinterpretation. Whatever data whatever sentences you want us to put in there, we do that as part of the bill. Okay. So in the interest of time, I want to talk about the pricing. Okay. So the application is sold based on population. Okay? Nothing to do with how many layers of data are in that data. So if you have data, if your regional planning commission, GIS data, you have data layers, your regional planning commission does, we're going to get everything we can get from the state for free. We're going to bring to the table all your tax map data. The pricing has nothing to do with how much data is out there. It's all about population. For communities 20,000 and under, that's our lowest price bracket. And I know you're 20,000 and under. There's a one-time fee to build the site and build the data processor, build the CAI record card, and turn it over to you for review before it goes out to the public. That fee is $3,000. One-time fee. In addition to that fee, there's an annual recurring hosting and support fee. Again, all population driven, 20,000 and under, $3,000.
Per year.
Per year, annual recurring. So year one is $6,000. No add-on tools, no special capabilities, no nothing. I just hit the pricing and she's leaving already. Right? So $6,000 year one. That's the $3,000 setup and the $3,000 annual hosting. Year two and moving forward, unless you add on more tools, is $3,000. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Any questions?
Do you have wetlands and stream data?
Yeah. So you have to look at what's out of granite, I believe watersheds are out of granite here. I think this is the National Wetland Inventory, that's free. This significant wetland study, that is something the town of Middleton did. They hired a wetland scientist to do that. Groundwater protection is free. They built shoreline protection. So it really varies from, what's out there. If you were to just Google New Hampshire granite GIS data, you'll be able to see everything that's available
So
for
some
your
of those
town.
things would have cost us money,
Yes, some of those
because
things.
you said the stuff on the loop was expensive.
Yeah, yeah, that's the data, yeah. You would have to invest in those.
Okay.
This Concord data is free, I think 5 foot's free, but we probably ran 2 foot. Any other questions? Like the stormwater, that they have to pay for. The MS4 stormwater reporting, they have to pay for.
Okay.
Stone wall expenses.
Could the police use something like this?
Yeah, the police have, in my opinion, very similar uses as fire. That before they're going to serve a warrant, they want to check out the property, they want to see it all, they want to look at the different imagery. Want to know what's in there, the sketch, if you have the avatar sketch for that building. A lot of pre-planning, I would say.
How about utilities?
Yeah, utilities are huge. Water, sewer, and drain, very, very big users, yeah. Hydrant data, water mains, water services, high cards for shut-offs, and on and on and on. All right? Thank you very much. Yep.
Nice job. You guys,
Yes.
Gary, you know, zoom down.
Well, I was a little late.
You're good.
If you're all right with it, I'll just pack my stuff up right now.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Over there, or did you not pick them up?
No.
What did you say?
I was wondering what happened to the old
That was hard.
Sure.
She forgot them.
Is the screen locked?
Oh,
Okay.
that's fine.
You stop by and we can give you one
Fire
tomorrow.
too.
No,
You're free tomorrow.
Well, I can fire you, but not her.
yes,
Oh, I
yes,
see how.
yes.
All right. Number 8, planning board, building permits to be placed on website.
That's Tim.
So yes, I got a request from the planning board to have the permits placed on the website. Shouldn't be a problem. We are fully able to do it, so
And those are building permits that have been issued.
that's been issued, yes.
Correct.
And it'll be updated monthly.
All right. Planning board nominated Kate as an alternate, and she's looking for an appointment.
I will make the motion to appoint Kate Buzzard as an alternate on the planning board.
I'll second that.
Don't have any questions? No grilling?
Do you have
No,
any questions?
you're gonna pulse?
I was just saying, you're breathing and you look big.
No other discussion? No. All right, all in favor? Aye.
So Kate, just need to go see Teresa. Yeah,
ASAP.
yeah.
Not this week.
And we'll make sure that's all filled out properly, because,
All right, number 10, resignation from the PD. Steve Hyde has tendered his resignation from the police department. He was a part-timer that we had, I believe 14 years, I think it was, that he served here with the town. He just is at a point in his life where he's moving on.
I move that we unfortunately accept it and issue our heartfelt appreciation for his time and service.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, treasurer, I'll let you speak to that.
Oh, so no, I think this is under department heads, I think that's
Yeah.
why
Oh,
these
this is
are all.
department head? Sorry.
Yeah, so no, we can speak to it, we have the treasurer's report, it says,
Well, no, this is the conversation about
no.
what we're gonna be doing with the treasurer.
No.
Yeah, because you got two treasurers, you got one on
Yeah.
the bottom.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is the conversation about,
Oh, interview?
Yes.
So,
Department heads are on it.
oh, yeah, that's right, sorry, so it was already on here. So I think we just need to set up times for any, applications, so we can set those maybe up for next week.
Did you get any applications?
We got one.
Okay.
So
I
we'll.
just gave them over, I didn't.
All right, no, so we'll just, so we'll find a time that everybody can meet, and so tentatively, I think the idea is maybe to try and have interviews starting next week, if we can.
yep.
Okay.
But we also need to talk about the plan.
Oh, right, sorry, Tim, a little slow on that. So in the interim, because the treasurer's last week is this week, so we have reached out to the bank, and our check requires 3 signatures, requires 2 board of selectmen and treasurer. What we're gonna do until we have that position filled, and we've spoke with the bank, and then we're gonna have 3 selectmen sign the checks, so that can be done, as well as direct deposits and electronic transfers as far as like for payroll, and I think it's the payroll.
And the daily.
And the daily stuff for the
DMV.
DMV, yes. So what that is, right now, Kim enters it, and the treasurer will approve it. What will happen, or what I'm gonna suggest, is the bank has said that Kim can do the transfer and the approval, and then it would be signed off by the selectmen.
Yep.
So that's the process that we're gonna go until we have a treasurer to do that second piece that we won't have anybody. We have one. You interested, Bob? Well, hey, are you interested, Kate?
No, good lord, no.
And
I'm trying.
Yeah, for daily deposits, we need to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, so,
Town at one
oh,
time.
sorry, Tim, yeah, so,
Yeah,
are you interested?
drawing some experience.
I'm just saying. So daily deposits, so what that'll be done, I think currently Teresa has volunteered that she or Joni will do it.
Yeah.
If not, I will deposit.
I can be available too.
I'll be available to deposit. Typically, deposits only happen Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays right now, because that's all the tax collector town
Like
clerk.
I said, I'm usually up there on Thursday, on Wednesdays anyway, so.
So I
make that
can
happen.
make myself available to
Yep.
make a deposit,
So we both will then.
so, and, yeah. So that's
So
what
a
we're.
question on the treasurer's report for the town warrant, I know it's sometime off. but
What?
I suppose it's not gonna be a problem
What?
for them, for somebody to come in midstream and create a report for the,
No, I don't think so. It's
Okay.
pretty generic, Kate, but yeah. And plus, we know where Laura lives, so we can tell us. All right, so I think we covered everything on
Yep.
that?
Yep.
All right, so that's where we're heading on that. Thanks for the reminder. So actually, I kind of covered the other one as well. We'll look into it again.
All right, department heads. So although it's not officially a department head meeting because it's not the proper
Right. So we may
day,
not have,
But we
missed the meeting, so
because it was
we're now
Veterans Day.
going to discuss and enlighten the public as far as what we have for info from department heads. So the highway department, I didn't receive anything, but I did speak with Dan today. They're on par with everything. They were putting the sanders in the trucks today and getting all the trucks prepped for winter, along with their everyday tasks, and they were still hauling from the New Durham pit over as well.
And we have the new truck.
Do you-
It's here. It's on
No.
lettered, and it's good to
Yes,
go.
the new truck is here, new truck's lettered, actually put the sander in it today. I don't believe.
I didn't see anything for fire and EMS, but there may have been something in our
Oh,
BOS
so
email.
we need to schedule interviews for them too.
Say that again?
We need to schedule interviews for them too.
Right, well, we're gonna get that, that's at the end there. We're gonna circle back to that, Tim, so we'll
We have
skip
a
to.
run for them here.
Oh, would you like? That's all right, and I think there might have been something in the email and I didn't print it out, so that's fine.
We did get an email from the police department, personnel. They have, obviously, the chief, a full-timer, part-timer, and a secretary. He did provide the mileage on the cars. Does anybody want to hear what the mileage is on the cars? Huh?
Sure, Bonnie does.
All right, car 1, 41,000. Car 2 has, we'll call it 78,000. Car 3 has 95,000. Car 4 has 80,000, and car 5 has 61,000. As far as activity goes, 2 arrests with 2 bookings, 1 warrant, 30 calls for service, 3 assists for service, 68 motor vehicle warnings, and 2 summonses. And the police department is still currently working on completing all of their annual required yearly training. All right, town clerk tax collector.
Yep. So this shows that for the town clerk side, we brought in approximately 68,000. Yeah, 68,000 for the month, it looks like, and then on the tax collector side, roughly 23,3.
And treasurer's report.
Yeah, so this is a little, well, this is as of October 24th. It said, we had 2.1 million, but I know that we've paid Stratford County around 660,000. We've made another payment, school payment. We've made some substantial payments in the last 3 weeks. So, but with tax bills going out, we expect to, start to recoup some of that money as well. Because I think we do have another bill due at the end of the year for public school.
Yeah.
What are we doing with outstanding checks?
Oh. So, I think, oh, Kim, what were you doing? Yes, so I think you were addressing some of the outstanding checks.
All the outstanding checks, except for Decrezio and the NHFS.
Yeah.
Those 2 were not done. It's the employees and also Nancy. Those have been.
Who's that?
No. She did ballot. Clerk. She didn't even know she was missing. So I had sent these people 1 check, the total amount that they owe, that we owe them, and asked them to cash it within a couple of weeks so that I can clear these off them.
Okay. So we've replaced them.
Yes.
So we've replaced them.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now we are at interviews.
Yeah, so the idea is that we want to start doing interviews probably next week for both treasurer and fire chief. So I think the treasurer, that is good, whatever. Right now we have 1 applicant that I know of. But the fire chief, I think that was the one that we wanted to talk about potentially bringing in somebody else on, to do along with the board, to interview with the Board of Selectmen, say the chief of Farmington Fire Chief or something of that sort. So I'm just looking for
Would be
thoughts.
worthwhile to see if the road agent and the
Oh.
police chief would be good candidates, as they're going to be working with the fire chief a lot.
Oh, yeah, good, yeah.
Just a thought.
No, I like that. This is for fire chief.
Do I set these up like?
Well, we're gonna have to see when people are available, unfortunately, so, in whatever the most that we can get it, everybody together is fine. So I would say, I'm just gonna throw this out there, so I would say, Mike, you will recuse yourself. And I think, Tracy, are you fine, or what, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well,
I don't see that Tracy would have any conflict on this.
Not with this, and I agree, but I mean, I don't
but
know.
I would think that Mike can listen in. I mean, I think we all.
Actually, I welcome his
Okay.
input on this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I would just think that as an officer, he wouldn't vote.
oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Yes,
Because he
that's.
might have a question that I would have no idea
Right.
about.
No, I agree with that. I guess that was my point is that you're not, yeah. So then there's no problem with you being in the process, but you wouldn't be in the deciding process.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're back in the sandbox.
I'm back in the sandbox, yeah.
You're back in the hot seat. Any other suggestions of anybody else who we might want to include on the interrogation board? Sorry.
I don't know, maybe is Andrea the highest for EMS?
Andrea is the highest.
Again, I don't know anything about that.
I think where Andrea's been on the department for so long, I think her input would be very valuable.
Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions?
Are we looking at next week?
Yeah, well, we'll
We can.
start with next week and see what everybody's availability is, so we'll have to send out an email, Kim, and see, for the road agent, the police chief, and Andrea, what their availability is.
So, chief level that. I'm asking, I don't know.
What?
Chief Lavalette.
To sit in on it? To be a part of it?
Anybody's thoughts?
I mean, here's the thing, with Scott, if you guys believe we have Andrea, then with Scott, maybe not necessarily. But if he's available, I don't see a reason why not.
Right, so let me just ask this question. So these would be people sitting in on it, they're not the making the deciding?
Exactly.
Okay, so they're just people to ask questions and get kind of their input.
And ultimately, it comes down to the BOS to make a
Okay.
decision,
No,
but
right,
a lot of this we might not know a lot about, so.
Okay, nope, I'm fine with that.
And taking their recommendations, I think, would be a good idea.
Okay, nope, I'm good with that. I mean, granted, we may not be able to have availability for everybody to be there, but if we can get the majority, that's what we'll go with. Okay, so I think we have a game plan on that, and we can get together, Kim, and
Okay.
get that situated, maybe in the next day or two. Day and a half.
All right. So now moving on, Casella. Our waste removal contract is coming to expiration. It runs through June 30th of 2025. I'm gonna ballpark this and say 2.5 months ago, I responded out to Waste Management because they inquired. I provided them a copy of our current contract without numbers, just so they could give us a comparison quote for like services. And I have gotten 0 back from them. Now, what I will say is that we are, this agreement that we're currently in, has an extension, should we choose to, for up to 5 years, or for 5 years. So financially, service-wise, and everything else, if the board is kosher with this, and this isn't a decision that needs to be made tonight, it just have to be made before, 90 days before then, so I would say you probably want to make the decision by March 1st. But this current agreement that we have does have a extension clause in it that does allow it to be extended one time for an additional 5 years with like terms. If either party wants to terminate it, we just need to notify in writing at least 90 days ahead of time.
Have they expressed any
Haven't
interest in terminating it?
have heard nothing from them. I just happened to, I knew it was coming due, so I happened to pull it out of the file folder the other day just to look at the dates.
Does it have
See
numbers
when.
on it, Scott?
Yes, there are numbers in there.
If you extend, excuse me, for the 5 years, you have to keep it for the whole 5 years?
That's the way I interpret it, yes.
I would think so as well.
Basically, it's just a remirror of the same contract that we have. They have the ability to terminate it, and we do as well, but it has to be 90 days ahead of time in writing. It's right here if you need it as well.
Oh, that's it, that's what I want, that one, this one didn't have numbers in it. I didn't see numbers, maybe I was missing something. I think this is just when Casella took over for Menard, right, that's how it went? I'm just curious as to.
Oh, this is actually, this is the one that I provided to Waste, that's why there's
Oh,
no
okay.
numbers in it. I left the photocopy in here in case anybody else wanted
Because, right,
to
I
quote
just,
it, I blacked out all the numbers.
so right now, what we have budgeted for this year is 183,000. This is for 2024, so, and I don't know, this is an old one for May, so what we've spent or whatever, but, I suspect we may be over on this. But I know that there's probably, yeah, it looks like it goes up a percentage, so I would suspect it's gonna continue the percentage, like if it's 3%, it's probably gonna go up 3% for the next 5 years, that would be my guess, but, all right, I'll just need to.
So 3% a year or 3% for the 5 years?
No, I think it's 3%, so there's a per month, charge, Tim, and then there's a per ton, so I think it probably, so, we bring in 20 ton, it's $98 per ton, so, but it's been going up, it started at 88, then it went to 90, 50, 93, 95, 50, 98, so I want to take a look at these numbers, just to kind of get a ballpark figure of, we really need to, from what we're gonna budget for next year
Yeah.
anyways.
And I can make a phone call to them tomorrow if you want, and find out where they kind of stand on this.
Yeah, that would be good, okay.
We're gonna make another attempt with waste management.
Well, no, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
see
reach
what
out
they-
to, I'll reach out to Waste again, yeah.
We'll see what they have to offer, and
And as far as town expenditures go, where does our waste management, top 5, top 10, do you know?
oh, you
You
mean
know what I mean?
what we spend?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's probably it's probably close to 10%.
I mean, like, no, but where does it rank as far as money?
Like God knows, yeah,
Yeah.
on the list.
Top 5?
First would be
Yeah,
education,
it would
second
be
would
top
be.
10, it's top 10, so, because you figure our budget, oh, that's good. Hold on, let me pull this
Yeah,
back up.
I'm just
No, I have it right here.
like I do.
So our budget is,
Yes.
this is not a good number to use. Our budget is around $2 million, I think. And this is 183. I mean, it's, on a list of all expenditures, it is probably the highest expenditure, other than salaries.
Right.
But I mean, in this, other than salaries, this is the highest, this would probably be the highest thing that we spend money on, is garbage. Isn't that sad?
It's better than in our woods.
I know, but just saying it does sound better than we pay this much money on garbage. But, yeah.
It is garbage.
It is, it's garbage. Okay, so go ahead.
Any, other questions, discussions on that? No? Public comment? Bonnie?
Alright,
Oh, gosh.
so we have a house decorating contest coming up. You need to have, signed up by December 8th, and judging will be that week. Thank you to our judges. We have Scott, Roxanne, and Tracy will be our judges.
Have it done by when?
You have to be signed up by December 8th.
Do we have this on the internet? Do we have this
Not
up
yet.
on? Okay, it's gonna,
It's not on your site, but it's all over.
It's all over Facebook.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
steal
share-
off the rec then.
huh?
I'll steal the rec page.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
And so on December 14th, we will have our pancake breakfast
Yeah.
at the Old Town Hall, 9 to 1. Santa will be here, we'll have presents, crafts, it's for anybody, it's free for the town of Middleton. Free pancake breakfast, and, you don't have that, kids, you don't have candidates.
Did you say the time? I missed that, Bonnie. 9?
9 to 1.
That's, I thought you said 9 to 1. And do we have a flyer for this?
That is on our page as well.
And
So
Tim
you want me
was-
to start, I'll start stealing everything.
Okay, that's, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we, last
You get
time,
lunch.
we mentioned this, you asked if there was donations requested. So we are looking for 5 bags of 50 pre-cooked sausages, a large can of coffee, 2 half-gallons of coffee creamer, 4 gallons of orange juice.
Okay, all right, so if we could share that with Tim and we could say
The list
donations.
is online.
The
This
list,
is all
right.
online already.
Perfect.
It can be dropped off here on December 3rd, or at 6 p.m., or December 9th at 6:15, or other arrangements can be made.
Okay. Perfect.
Perfect.
And do you have anything else?
Actually cover it.
So I'll just ask you, Jeff, were you here for the turkey raffle? And that went well?
That was, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, that was probably the best.
That was the best turnout we've had.
It was
So
fantastic.
kudos to you guys.
Congratulations, all of you.
That's
all.
We sent Jacob down to Staples and Walmart to buy more tickets.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
What was there, over 12, how many tickets were there? 12,000?
12,000,
Yeah.
something like that. I think we started at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He went
Yeah, I
down,
think
got
we ended over 13,000
4 or 5
tickets.
more.
Perfect. No, that's good. So,
By far, as long as I've been here, that's, we've never run out of tickets.
and so everything went smoothly. You had enough stuff to donate. Okay,
So
great.
the only thing that we ran into this year, we're gonna try to change it next year, is we had so many people show up, we didn't have room. Before it even started, a lot of people left. So next year, we're gonna try to see if we can hold it down in the school,
Perfect. Yeah.
so
That's
everyone
it.
can have a chance at it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think that's a great idea.
Positive sign.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just wanted to kind of make sure you got that out there and said kudos to everybody who came and supported that. And that goes to Toys for Tots.
Yep.
So, great.
Any other public comment? Dan?
I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
You as well, thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, great.
I'm not gonna see you later, so.
All right, any other public comment? Hearing no other public comment, I will gladly take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Go ahead, Tim.
I already motioned.
Oh, I'll second it.
All in favor?
7:50.
Aye.
Aye.